Did you know that Florida is the most hurricane-prone state? A dance with these tempestuous titans is almost an annual tradition here. The Sunshine State has a long, complex history with hurricanes, wrought with despair and new beginnings. From the great Miami hurricane of the 1920s to the 2018 Hurricane Michael, these powerful storms have shaped the state's landscape and its people in profound ways. It's crucial to understand why Florida faces such a high risk and how these powerful storms form. Hurricanes, known for their devastating power, are a fascinating phenomenon of nature. These fierce storms, often mistaken as mere wind and rain, are complex systems driven by an intricate balance of atmospheric conditions and oceanic temperatures. To grasp the science behind hurricanes, we first need to understand their formation. It all begins with a disturbance in the atmosphere, like a cluster of thunderstorms over warm ocean waters. These waters, heated to at least 80 degrees Fahrenheit, act as fuel, providing the heat and moisture necessary for hurricanes to develop. As the warm, moist air rises, it creates an area of low pressure beneath, which is then filled by surrounding air rushing in. It's also important to understand that hurricanes are not just about the wind. The storm surge, a wall of ocean water that a hurricane pushes ashore, is often the deadliest part of a hurricane. The stronger the hurricane, the higher the storm surge, and the more severe the potential for coastal flooding. This air too gets warmed, rises, and the cycle continues, causing a continuous upward spiral of air. With the Earth's rotation causing this air to spin, a tropical storm is born. But what turns a tropical storm into a hurricane? The answer lies in the wind. Once the winds in the storm reach 74 miles per hour, a tropical storm graduates to a Category 1 hurricane. The warmer the water and the more moisture in the air, the stronger the hurricane can become. Finally, let's consider the role of climate change. As our planet warms, so do our oceans, creating more fuel for these storms. While complex, scientists believe that the warmer waters may lead to more intense hurricanes. Hurricanes are a testament to the power of nature, but there is hope. With a deeper understanding of these potent storms, residents can better comprehend the threats they pose, helping them to prepare and protect their communities. The history of hurricanes in Florida is a testament to nature's power and the resilience of its residents. Our journey through the annals of Florida's hurricane history begins in the early 20th century, when the Great Miami Hurricane of 1926 left an indelible mark. This Category 4 storm, with winds reaching 150 miles per hour, resulted in widespread destruction and significant loss of life. Fast forward to the year 1922, when Hurricane Andrew, one of the most destructive hurricanes in recorded U.S. history, swept through Florida. This Category 5 hurricane caused a whopping $26 billion in damage, forever changing the landscape of Florida and leaving long-lasting scars on its residents. 12 years later, the Sunshine State faced an unprecedented challenge. 4 major hurricanes, Charley, Francis, Ivan, and Jean, hit Florida in a quick succession. This rare occurrence underscored the need for robust emergency preparedness and response systems. In 2017, Hurricane Irma, another Category 5 storm, unleashed its fury on Florida, causing extensive damages and leaving 6 million homes without power. Irma's impact highlighted the increasing threat of hurricanes in the area of climate change, with warmer ocean temperatures potentially fueling more intense storms. Throughout these events, patterns have emerged. For one, the peak of hurricane season from August to October poses the greatest risk. However, it's important to remember that these storms also largely impact the Caribbean. These historical events and patterns serve as invaluable lessons, underscoring the importance of preparedness, infrastructure resilience, and community cooperation. They remind us that understanding the past is crucial in making informed decisions about the future. As we continue to face the evolving threat of hurricanes, we must remember that knowledge is our best defense. Preparation is our strongest defense against hurricane. It's important to have robust emergency plans. It's like having a lifeboat before setting sail, a safety net that catches us when nature's fury strikes. Let's first talk about evacuation procedures. It's essential to have a clear, well-thought-out plan of action. Knowing when to evacuate, where to go, and what routes to take can save valuable time in a crisis. It's not just about leaving your home. It's about ensuring you and your loved ones reach a safe place as quickly as possible. Next, let's consider shelter preparations. When evacuation is not an option, or if it's safer to stay put, having a well-prepared shelter can be a lifesaver. This means securing your home against high winds, using boards to keep your windows supported, having a stockpile of necessary supplies like food and water, and ensuring you have the means to stay informed about the storm's progress. Remember, a hurricane is not a one-off event, but a series of hazards, including wind, rain, flooding, and sometimes even tornadoes. Being prepared to weather all these elements is crucial. Knowing who to call, how to access help, and understanding how local authorities are responding to the hurricane are all vital pieces for survival. Emergency services are our frontline defense against hurricanes, and being able to work in tandem with them can make all the difference. It's about resilience in the face of adversity and rebuilding in the aftermath. It's about communities coming together to support each other, to pick up the pieces and to move forward. In the face of nature's power, we can often feel small and insignificant. But with the preparation, we can stand tall, weather the storm, and emerge stronger on the other side. Preparedness can be the difference between life and death during a hurricane. Climate change is a storm on our horizon, potentially influencing the frequency and intensity of hurricanes. Now, you may wonder, what does a global phenomenon like climate change have to do with hurricanes in Florida? Well, the connection is more significant than you might think. Let's start with rising sea levels. As the planet heats up, polar ice caps melt, causing the sea level to rise. For a state like Florida, which is surrounded by water on three sides, this is particularly concerning. Higher sea levels can mean more intense storm surges, which are often the most destructive aspect of a hurricane. Next, consider the role of warmer ocean temperatures. Hurricanes draw their energy from warm sea surface temperatures. As the oceans heat up due to global warming, hurricanes have more energy to feed off, potentially leading to more powerful storms. But it's not just about the intensity of hurricanes. Climate change can also influence their frequency. Some research suggests that while we might not necessarily see more hurricanes overall, we may see an increase in the number of high-intensity storms. There's also the issue of increased rainfall. Warmer air can hold more moisture, leading to heavier rainfall during a hurricane. This can exacerbate flooding, one of the most damaging and life-threatening aspects of these storms. But it's important to remember that while we have strong indications of these links between climate change and hurricanes, there's still a lot we don't know. The science is complex, and the relationship is not straightforward. It's an active area of research, with scientists around the world working to understand these connections more fully. What we do know, however, is that climate change is likely to make hurricanes more dangerous in ways we're only beginning to understand. For Florida, a state already on the front lines of hurricane impacts, these changes could have serious implications. Understanding the impact of climate change on hurricanes is crucial for future preparedness. As we continue to navigate this uncertain future, it's more important than ever to stay informed. Understanding hurricanes is not just a scientific endeavor, but a necessity for survival in hurricane-prone areas like Florida. As we've journeyed through the tumultuous relationship Florida has with hurricanes, it's clear that these natural events are a part of life here. From understanding the science behind these powerful storms to delving into Florida's rich hurricane history, We've seen how these events shape the state and its people. We've also highlighted the importance of being prepared, of having robust emergency plans and resilient infrastructures. These are not just suggestions, but lifelines that can make significant differences when hurricanes hit. Also, global concern of climate change and how it underscores the importance of environmental concern. Hurricanes involve everyone, from scientists studying their formation, to governments implementing policies, to individuals preparing their homes. With knowledge and preparedness, we can stay resilient in the face of nature's most powerful storms.
Recording. Alrighty, it is now being recorded. Once again, thank you very much. So, first off, would you mind giving us an introduction of who you are?
Yes, my name is Captain Byron Williams. I am a police captain of the Criminal Investigation Division here at Daytona Beach Police Department. I am also the Emergency Management Coordinator or Manager for the city of Daytona Beach itself. I've been with the city now for approximately 24 years, and been doing emergency management since 2016, which was Hurricane Matthew.
I see.
So,
That's very interesting. So, what exactly does the Emergency Operations Center of Daytona Beach do when a hurricane is approaching?
well, the first thing I do, we are constantly monitoring the tropics all year long. We're constantly looking for any type of weather patterns that are deviating from its normal routine, or something that's going to look like it's going to be disastrous or dangerous for the city. I would immediately send out our emergency activation of our Emergency Operations Center to our ESFs within the city itself. Emergency Operations Center is located here at the police department, here on the second floor. So once I send that emergency notification out via email, all the ESF that are needed in the Emergency Operations Center respond here, and then we begin to log in and start monitoring the storm, taking evacuation measures if need be, notifying all the not only just the city employees, but also the public of what they need to do, the impending storm itself. We notify a policy group, which is our department heads, our city manager, our county partners with the County Emergency Operations Center. We become in communication with them. We start communicating back and forth through our web emergency management software. We just recently purchased our new software, which is Javar, is a web EOC platform that a majority of a lot of the agencies and organizations in the state of Florida do utilize. Even the state of Florida Emergency Operations Center in Tallahassee utilizes this particular platform. So it's our platform that we're able to communicate with each other during an emergency, during a disaster, organizing personnel, organizing plans, organizing equipment. So it's a very useful platform. But once that notification is done, once everybody arrives here at the emergency, that's when we begin implementing all our emergency procedures.
All right, I see you are. And tell me, have you seen any property damage caused by hurricane like in person, not just like in images?
Yes, I have seen it in person. Going all the way back to Hurricane Matthew back in 2016, we saw the damage that was left, not just throughout the city, the roadways, the flooding that was done on our South Beach Street area, flooding parking lots, flooding homes. It was catastrophic. Even then, we can go all the way back, come up to most recently, which was Hurricane Nicole, which turned into Tropical Storm Nicole and Hurricane Ian back in last year in 2022. Left a damaging impact on the city of Daytona Beach. We weren't too worried about the winds, it was more so the flooding that we were worried about, and rightfully so. We had every reason to be, because it caused a lot of damage, hundreds of thousands of dollars, in the millions of dollars, as far as property damage due to the flooding that the city of Daytona Beach incurred. So it's been a lot of damage that I have seen, where some have even been with people who have lost their lives, unfortunately, during these disasters. So I've seen a lot over the past couple of years.
And what made you want to join the Emergency Operations Centers of Daytona Beach?
Just the dynamics of emergency management, the coordinating, the moving parts that comes with an emergency, the preparations that come behind it, the training that comes with it. It was very exciting to me. It's something different from my law enforcement career that I currently am in. But it's something that's definitely needed within law enforcement and within government, and it's something that I wanted to do. So I've never done it before, but 1 year, my predecessor, my mentor, got with me. We talked about it, and I've been hooked ever since on it.
I see. Oh, that's on. So you're enjoying working for the Emergency Operations Center?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Even though my time is winding down with the city, I'm looking to still be a part of emergency management with the city after I even leave a full-time employment, but still maintain my position here.
I see. And for people that are really worried about hurricanes and uncertain, what would you recommend for them?
Something we tell everybody every year, and you hear this from every emergency management personnel, is preparation and planning. That's the best you can do. Make sure you have your supplies together. We would normally recommend like 3 days, at least 3 days, 3 to 5 days worth of supplies, drinking water, food, canned food, things of that nature, batteries, all these different types of things like that you have already in place in a box somewhere, in a storage container. So when you hear that an emergency storm is approaching, you go to your emergency plan, and you begin to activate your emergency plan. The problem is a lot of people do not have a plan in place. And this is where you see disasters happening. This is where you see people being stranded. This is where you see people dying because they have not put a plan in place. Where you're going to go, what you're going to do. Do you have someone needing medical assistance that's living in your house? Have you secured your house? Have you secured your house by removing things that can become flying debris from around your house? Things like that is all about preparation. And it's a lot of different sites that are available that gives you a template on the type of preparation things you need in place, from food to supplies itself. It's a lot of different organizations. But if you go in the state of Florida Emergency Management, Emergency Disasters, CERT, SERT, you will see that they will have actual templates available that you can look at and go by.
Oh, I see. Thank you.
All right, no problem at all.
Yeah, of course. Thank you very much for even doing this interview with us.
Okay. I was curious about the last question on it. What is your opinion on cats?
Yes, I just love cats.
Oh, you love cats?
Yeah, of course. I always love them.
Gotcha. Well, just to throw that in there, we do have animal shelters available during the hurricanes and emergency storms. So these shelters are equipped for animals to come to, for owners to bring their animals to live in the shelter. We typically have animal officers on scene that can take care of animals if the emergency needs arise. So it's very secure, very safe, and a lot of people actually do attend or reside in these type of shelters with the animals. So.
I see. Thank you for telling us all that.
All right, no problem at all.
Yeah. Have a great day.
All right, you too.
And
Take care.
bye. Bye.
Please introduce yourself.
My name is Lyle Kleisch, and I'm a teacher here at Spruce Creek High School. I teach DVT, which is digital video technology, also known as television production.
What has been your previous experience with hurricanes?
I've been in quite a few hurricanes, actually. One of my first was Hurricane David, and I grew up as a surfer. I'm a water sportsman, so I've been around the water my whole life, and we threw our surfboards off the pier at Flagler Beach and dove in after them and surfed the hurricane all the way up to St. Augustine on the Longshore Current, and then that's where I paddled in at St. Augustine.
Have you suffered any property damage from storms or have known anyone who has?
Yep, in Hurricane David, it snapped my surfboard, and that's why I had to come into St. Augustine. And then when I was living in Hawaii, I was working on a cattle ranch in Hawaii, and a friend of mine in Hurricane Iniki had their shed get blown away, and it smashed into the roof on their house and destroyed part of their roof too.
How do you prepare for a hurricane?
I always like to have plenty of water stored, and I'll even fill up my bathtub if I'm hunkering down. And I like to have plenty of food, and that's food that you don't have to cook in case you lose the ability to cook. And I want to be in a very protected area, like a hurricane shelter area. And if I'm going to have to leave, if I'm evacuating, then I make sure I got plenty of gas in my car, make sure I got plenty of food and water in the car as well in case it breaks down somewhere.
What is the advice you would give to someone without any experience with hurricanes?
Definitely listen to the meteorologists on the news that are tracking the storm. Listen to your authorities that are asking for evacuations from low-lying areas where you might be injured. At least get to a hurricane shelter if you can evacuate, and make sure you got plenty of supplies.
What is your opinion on cats?
Cats?
Yes.
You know, it's a love-hate relationship. I don't know if I love to hate them or hate to love them, but you know, they're cute and furry, but they're also terrifying and ferocious. And I've had a few, and I've been scratched, bit, and cuddled on many occasions.
Thank you, our amazing teacher, for coming in with us.
You're welcome. Glad to be here. All right.